Waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of towering pine forests to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state, documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild. On this week's season finale of Bayou Wild TV, if you're a turkey hunter, you already know of the patience, dedication, and passion that comes with the territory of chasing a gobbler. We're in Washington Parish. It's kind of rolling hills up here just outside Bogalusa near the Angie area. And turkeys like this area. It's got a lot of open fields. There's a lot of agriculture. There's hardwoods along some of the bottoms, and that produces mast. And this area seems to suit them very well. If you're a rookie turkey hunter, perhaps you'll learn a few things.
You gotta be quiet, you gotta be covered up good, you gotta be patient.
The real challenge in hunting turkeys is you're trying to make an animal do something completely against its nature. And when he comes, he's looking for you.
I've been practicing a little bit, but I haven't really got it mastered yet.
And if you're not a hunter, we'll share a turkey tale, a story about a beloved Louisianian who left us much too soon, but left a legacy that will stand the test of time.
Hey folks, Hokie here. Peyton Manning carved up the Saints like a jack-o'-lantern.
He was an outdoorsman. I think that was his piece, if that makes sense. I think he loved playing football. He was headstrong and he was body strong, but his piece was in the outdoors. When we were on the water, hunting, fishing, he was a whole different human being.
This week you'll smile.
Kicked by Hartley, and it is good!
Laugh.
I bet you want to take this garbage you left behind on home, right?
And maybe even cry when the Saints come gobbling in. Closed captioning made possible by Ceto.com. Become a member.
Whooping cranes are back in Louisiana. Through the hard work of biologists and key strategic partners, whooping cranes have been restored to the cultural icon they once were. But you can still help. To donate to the Whooping Crane program, visit lawff.org.
Thank you to Chevron and the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Foundation for their generous support.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
I've been using Louisiana fish fry products so much, even the kids are getting into it.
Bonio bag, pour and boil, a great crawfish every time.
And whether you're boiling crawfish, shrimp, or crabs, Louisiana fish fry products use the perfect blend of garlic, onion, spices, and salt for your seafood boils. So look for the bright yellow bag and pour and boil with Louisiana fish fry products.
Hand up, right side, look at this, guys on Britain.
Yeah, my dad was beyond amazing. And one of the things that I loved is that he never had a son. He had 4 girls. So he taught us how to do things. Now my sister Kristen is more of the hunter. I like to fish, that's more my thing. But yeah, he always got us outdoors and encouraged us to be brave and be powerful. And I so appreciate that because I brought that into my own kids' lives. I know that the day of the draft, my mother told him, I don't care who you play for, just do not play for the New Orleans Saints. I want to get out of Louisiana. I don't think he would have ever moved out of this state. The culture and just, I mean, he just did. He loved Louisiana. I mean, that's where his family was. I think if his family would have been in Alaska, he would have loved Alaska. But he was a family guy.
You don't have to be rude or mean. Just tell them they should play on the clean team.
The hunting and fishing, he continued that with my kids always. Actually, Madisonville, where we are right now, does the frogging rodeo. And he brought both Tucker and Sawyer to participate in that. And he had so much fun. They had the best time ever.
When you hear the name Hokie Gajan, most people relate it to New Orleans Saints, LSU Tigers. Guy was an outstanding running back and went on to a stellar career as a radio broadcaster doing color analyst.
Oh, and I'd always thought of Hokie Gajan as a person I'd love to work with. He was a close friend. I thought he had a unique skill set. So Hokie came on board in 2000. Saints won their first playoff game.
Hakeem drops the ball! Hakeem drops the ball! Right! I can't believe it. Hakeem was a little bit too casual just up underneath that thing. And I couldn't. I nailed a minute ago for missing London Fletcher on the blitz. And right there, he's just the first guy down the field, jumps on the ball.
Jim Henderson was the one who really recruited my dad for that. And it was a perfect job for him because he did understand football on levels, and then the way he communicated it as complete Louisiana.
The dog days of summer are sure enough here, and the humidity is as thick as a road. You know, I did some yard work the other day, and my wife had to pick me up with a shop vac. Peyton Manning carved up the Saints like a jack-o'-lantern.
I've often said it's the closest thing I think to playing or coaching. If you've had a good broadcast in front of the home folks and they're fired up and it's been an exciting game, and you're happy with your call and the people around you, it's a great feeling afterwards, and one that's very hard to duplicate, and it's one that I think a lot of people can never get enough of.
Snap, placement, kick by Hartley, and it is good! It's good! It's good!
It was hard to figure out the thing was going to be made because you watched all those people down there in the south end zone, and they erupted when the ball left his foot because they could see it was dead on line.
Hokie and I were great buddies. We hunted together, we fished together for over 30 years. Unfortunately, Hokie's life was cut short. He was a victim of cancer and passed away, and it was a tough and sometimes demoralizing death that he suffered.
Nervous, certainly uncertain, but I can promise you this, I'm not going to sit around here right now and mope about it. Hunting season just opened up, and I'm looking forward to doing some of that.
He was an outdoorsman. I think that was his piece, if that makes sense. I think he loved playing football. He was headstrong and he was body strong, but his piece was in the outdoors, always. And that's what he loved to do. And, my mother, she's not an outdoors woman at all. And so that was something they had to do separately a lot of times. He would take us with him so that he didn't get fussed at for going hunting and fishing, and that's probably why we went. But my father was a different person when he was in Grand Isle or at Z Murray Park or what have you. When we were on the water hunting, fishing, he was a whole different human being. We would go fishing and hunting together, and he loved nothing more than to watch somebody else catch a fish. He would sit back and go, I don't want to, no. He loved it, and he has since we were kids.
The thing about Hokie is the turkey hunter. He was an excellent turkey hunter. But one of the strange things about Hokie is once he got up in age and he had killed, I guess he figured, his share of turkeys, he enjoyed locating turkeys, going out in the evenings and listening for them to fly up, listening for that last evening gobble. And then he would come back to the camp and he would tell you, you know, I got one for you if you want him, and he would tell the hunters where to go, and Hokie really enjoyed doing that, I think more than he did in shooting a turkey himself. But one thing when I'm out turkey hunting, I'm always reminded of the St. Hokie turkey story.
It's that time of year, CCA Star Tournament time.
We might have a star winner, folks.
Don't miss your chance for more categories, more prizes, and more smiles. Young and old, there's a division for everyone. You can win a truck, RV, boat, and much more. Sign up today for a chance to become an early bird winner. The fun starts Memorial Day weekend. Visit CCA Star to get your ticket today.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. Hunt of a Lifetime is a nonprofit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.
Wild turkeys are the most challenging game animal we have on the North American continent. You can ambush deer. Ducks come in readily to decoys, and they don't really interact with you that much, although you do call them. But wild turkey hunting is the epitome of all hunting. You've got to be a skilled caller. You've got to be a master at camouflage. You have to be a good shot, because without a headshot, you're not going to kill a turkey. Good shot. And most of all, you have to have patience and the will to stick it out and do what it takes to wait out a turkey.
You gotta hide really good. You gotta be able to call. You gotta be really patient too.
The real challenge in hunting turkeys is you're trying to make an animal do something completely against its nature. The way it works in nature, a turkey is roosting in a tree, it gobbles, the hens hear the gobble, they come to the gobbler, he breeds the hen, and life goes on. What you're trying to do is get that gobbler to not follow his natural instincts and wait for you to come to him. You are making as seductive calls as you can, and you're luring that turkey against his own will and nature to come to you.
He has really good eyesight. He can see you. He can hear you too. They're really quick. They fly.
And when he comes, he's looking for you. They've got zoom lens, excellent hearing, they can pinpoint sounds, and they are one heck of an adversary. you're not always successful when you're out turkey hunting. It can be hit and miss, it can go from good to bad. It can go from what looks like a sure thing to a blowout. But one thing always when I'm out turkey hunting, it reminds me of the St. Hokie turkey story. One particular season, I had a real bad season in Louisiana. It was a combination of things. There wasn't a lot of birds that year following the hatch. The weather wasn't conducive to turkey hunting, and it was a pretty short season. We go to Kansas and make an annual trip there every year, and even our trip to Kansas was tough this one particular year. And we got down to the last day, and we really had planned to leave early to come back to Louisiana that morning, but we made an agreement, said, look, we're gonna go out, we're gonna make a quick morning hunt. At 9 o'clock, no matter what happens, we're gonna be all packed up, we're gonna jump in the truck and we headed home, but we're gonna give it this one last shot. And they asked me, where do you wanna go? And I said, oh, I don't know, just drop me off along the way somewhere. Well, they dropped me off in complete darkness, and I started walking up to a tree line, and I'm in a place with 1,000 trees, never been there before. So I walk up, pick a tree, sit down underneath it, and I'm not there 30 seconds, and I hear the thunder of a turkey gobble in the tree that I'm sitting under. And that turkey kept gobbling every time I gave a little bit of a call. And then there were other turkeys all down that tree line that was gobbling. Well, when daylight came, I was ready for that turkey to fly right down there because he had been answering every one of my calls. But instead, he flew about 200 yards down. And what he was doing was he was blocking other turkeys who had gotten off the roost, and they were also approaching my call. And you could see him going from one to the other, trying to turn them around and keep them from getting to his hand. Well, finally, when he had them all kind of at bay, he turned around and he started to come in to collect his prize, which was me doing the calling. And at about 40 yards, I got off 2 shots and dropped him. I walked out, picked up this bird and admired him. It was obviously the best bird I had ever killed in over 40 years of turkey hunting. Weighed 24 pounds, had a beard that was over 10 inches long, 1 3/4 spurs, and he was full of battle scars. This guy had been a real fighter his entire life. Well, it wasn't until I was riding back home and really the story actually hit me. And I had remembered that the night before I had this dream. And in the dream was Hokie Gajan.
Hey folks, Hokie here.
And in the dream, Hokie had, we kind of relived that moment when he first told me about the cancer that he had and, that we were going to continue to hunt and fish. I heard those words that I heard from Hokie tell me and other people so many times. And he said, Don, I got one put up for you if you want it. And that's how he always told someone that he had a bird roosted and where it would be if you wanted to get it. And I guess if you analyze the dream, an analyst might say something like, well, Don, it was natural. Your friend just passed away and he was on your mind so much that it was a coincidence. Well, I don't know about that. A coincidence, walking out under a tree, picking one out of thousands and sitting underneath the bird of a lifetime. Maybe it was a coincidence, maybe it was something else. You decide. If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D. Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
In the kitchen today, we are going to be making quail poppers. Now, this recipe is tried and true with duck, with venison, with wild game of all sorts, but we're going to jazz it up just a little bit and twist it just a little from what you're used to seeing. So, what I've started with is I have about 8 jalapenos. Now, when you're making these and you're wrapping them with bacon, you kind of can split them up a little more than this. But for this recipe, you only want to cut them in half, so they're a little boat that'll hold your mixture. We've got our quail breast. We took that off the bone and then sliced them into about ½ strips. 3 slices of cooked bacon. I used that Double D delicious smoked bacon that we're so obsessed with here at Bayou Wild. We're going to use half of a stick of cream cheese, so 4 ounces of that, 3 slices of bacon, and I believe I used about 5 breasts here, but you can use really whatever you have, just enough to put it all up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cream cheese and we're going to make a little blend with that. Most of the time you're usually just seeing the cream cheese put in the middle and then wrapped in the bacon and then cook the bacon. What we're going to do with this recipe is we're actually going to add a few ingredients to the mixture that goes in the popper. So we'll start with the 4 ounces of cream cheese. Then we're going to do a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder, just a little bit. This will just give it a little bit extra flavor. Then we're going to do a tablespoon of yellow mustard, not spicy. This stuff kind of is a little bit creamier, so it'll blend in the cream cheese a little better. And again, with the cream cheese, you want to kind of get it to room temperature so you can blend it, so it's not that hard brick of cream cheese. And instead of wrapping these with bacon, we're going to mix the bacon in once we get this all mixed together. So you want it to be kind of like frosting consistency. Get all that garlic powder mixed in good. Next, you're going to take your finely chopped bacon and throw that into the mix. By the way, not to plug Double D, but their bacon, I have to say, producer Chris and I agree, is the best there is. It's salty, it's crispy. I just cooked that in a pan beforehand. It mixes up nice and easy. Kind of looks like frosting. So you've got your mixture here. Now, instead of wrapping again with bacon, we're going to take our halves of jalapeno and fill them with this mixture. So what I have here is just a little cheese knife that's a little bit easier to fill these up. Don't fill them too high, because remember, they're going to cook on the grill and they're going to get a little bit softer, and there's really nothing to hold them in like what the bacon does. So just a little less than you would normally put. Then you're going to take your quail or dove, whichever you prefer, or venison, and lay it on top. And that's your popper. When we're done making these, we're going to go take them onto the Traeger grill and cook them up.
Want to be seen on a Bayou Wild episode? Sign up for our Cajun Invasion wild pheasant hunt in the remote hills of South Dakota in mid-November. Bad River Bucks and Birds provides lodging, meals, transportation, dogs, and bird cleaning. Details at dontheoutdoorsguy.com.
Get your Bayou Wild Collection soft tee or dry fit fishing shirt at BayouWildTV.com. Show you're a proud Bayou Wild supporter and get both today at BayouWildTV.com.
All right, we have cooked the poppers for about 15 minutes on around 350. And again, if you don't have a pellet grill, just cook them on direct heat until the meat's cooked. We're going to take them off the grill, and you can see that having these bigger cuts actually hold them together really well. You can see nothing's really dripped out. One thing I did do before I put these on the grill that I forgot to mention is I sprinkled them with a little bit of kosher salt on the top, just to give the meat a little bit of flavoring. So there you have it. We've got quail poppers, a little bit fancified, and if you want, you can actually marinate the meat as well. If you prefer to make it a little spicier, you can put some Cajun seasoning on it. But a fair way to please everybody is with this recipe here, and they're definitely a crowd pleaser.
Want to be seen on a Bayou Wild episode? Sign up for our Cajun Invasion wild pheasant hunt in the remote hills of South Dakota in mid-November. Bad River Bucks and Birds provides lodging, meals, transportation, dogs, and bird cleaning. Details at dontheoutdoorsguy.com. It's that time of year, CCA Star Tournament time.
We might have a star winner, folks.
Don't miss your chance for more categories, more prizes, and more smiles. Young and old, there's a division for everyone. You can win a truck, RV, boat, and much more. Sign up today for a chance to become an early bird winner. The fun starts Memorial Day weekend. Visit CCA Star to get your ticket today.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Discover the taste of Louisiana that's seasoned just right, boiled to perfection, and rich with tradition. A taste that's savory, crispy, and a little sweet. Discover the taste of Louisiana fish fry products. Thanks for watching Bayou Wild. Hope you'll join us for our next episode.
And you can check out all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. We have them, all the recipes as well, and the full-length episodes. Just search Bayou Wild TV, hit that subscribe button, and check out our website, BayouWildTV.com, if you want to pick up some merchandise. We've got hats, shirts to get you prepared for summer fishing.